Hey everybody, Hollywoodpizza here, and we're going to be playing some blue-white Lotus Field today. So normally in Pioneer, let me restart. Hey everybody, Hollywoodpizza here. We're going to be playing some Lotus Field in Explorer. Now in the Pioneer format, Lotus Field is usually like a combo-based deck, but in Explorer, since we're missing some of the pieces for that deck still, a lot of the time you see something built more like a blue-white control shell. So in this deck specifically, we actually have quite a bit of board wipes with 2 Farewells, 3 Doom Scars to settle the wreckages. We also have other answers in the Wandering Emperor and March of the Otherworldly Light that can get rid of a lot of different things like an artifact, enchantment, or a creature. We also have some other control elements like a couple Jawari Disruptions that we can play either as a land or an early tempo counterspell. And we also have Teferi, which of course is just a great finisher in control. We have 3 Dream Trawlers to help against a lot of different matchups. This card kind of just like ends the game against decks like Rakdos Midrange, Rakdos Sacrifice, any type of aggressive deck. And on top of that, you can just discard a card to give a hexproof. Sometimes you end up discarding like some Deluges or some extra lands, and the Dream Trawler just keeps surviving, keeps drawing extra cards, and just beating the opponent for a lot of damage, all the while gaining a lot of life. Discontinuity is actually great here. We're playing 4 of it. It serves 2 different purposes in the deck. The first being that on your turn, you can actually just cast this for pretty cheap. And you can actually, with the Lotus Field sack 2 land trigger on the stack for 2 mana, you can just cast a Discontinuity and then end your turn, so that way you don't have to sacrifice any lands for the Lotus Field. So you can do that as early as turn 3. Strict Proctor also kind of helps in the same regard that Discontinuity does, where you play Strict Proctor and then you can play the Lotus Field and not have to worry about sacrificing a land, because the Strict Proctor will counter the ability unless you pay 2, and of course you're not going to pay that too. You want to set this up though so that you do play Strict Proctor on turn 3, then play the Lotus Field, because you're able to retain priority. You don't always want to kind of just throw this card out because it'll just die to like a Fatal Push, and then you'll be left with the Lotus Field and you sacking some lands that you don't really want to. We also have some impulses to kind of help dig through the deck to make sure that we're able to cast our cards on time. And to kind of round out the deck, we have one of Shark Typhoon that can either be a pretty ridiculous card as like a finisher or give us a huge Shark token, as well being a finisher in a different way, all the while drawing us a card. Or sometimes we could just ditch it early to kind of just give us a redraw if we're missing some land drops or trying to dig deeper for answers or finishers like a Teferi or like a board wipe. Settle the Wreckage has just been over the top. Phenomenal as always as well. I can't speak highly enough about that card. For special lands, we have 1 Castle Ardenvale, 1 at Ganjo, 2 Hall of the Storm Giants, and like I mentioned earlier, the 4 Lotus Fields and Otawara, all the while also maintaining some dual lands like the Pathways, Hallowfountains, and the Farmlands. For a sideboard here, we have some interesting cards here that kind of help us in a lot of different matchups. We have Lantern of the Lost and Calamity's Wake to help against graveyard-based strategies. On top of that, Calamity's Wake makes sure that the opponents can't play non-creature spells this turn. And it's really, really good overall against a lot of different strategies outside of just the traditional graveyard decks. 3 Sunset Revelries to help against aggro decks or bring us back into the game if need be. 1 of Brazen Borrow is kind of like a catch-all removal spell essentially, or to buy us some time, and then it can be a threat. Just being able to cast it off of 1 Lotus Field is pretty nice. 1 Thought Distortion, just phenomenal against control decks or decks that are playing Atraxa. Let's say they do resolve the Atraxa, then you're able to just Thought Distortion essentially almost all their hand out of the way. 4 Dovin's Veto against any type of control-based strategy or non-creature decks. Just like I mentioned, the essentially Indomitable Creativity deck that the Thought Distortion could also be good against. The Dovin's Veto are also good there as well. 3 Temporary Lockdowns, which a lot of the time we're bringing these in against the Rakdos Sacrifice decks or anything that's going to be lower to the ground like a Mono White Humans. And an extra March of the Otherworldly Light to get rid of problematic permanents like an Alpine Moon or anything else like that that might get in the way that it's going to kind of stop our Lotus Field from doing its thing. Overall, the deck is really, really powerful. It has some base control elements, and then you can go over the top very quickly by just playing a Dream Trawler to Fairy, and maybe even hardcasting the Shark Typhoon on your opponent, and then going forward from there. All the spells you cast, you make some Sharks, or just a Dream Trawler kind of keeps the cards churning, you gaining the life kind of keeps you in the game, things like that. Deluge as well as always is just like a really, really all-star in the deck where it kind of just helps refill your hand, and you can kind of just like main phase it a lot of the time. just because you're looking for like Lotus Field to go with your strict proctors or your discontinuities, things like that. Overall, deck was super strong. Definitely recommended for a tournament or for the ladder. Let's go ahead and jump into some games and have some fun. Gonna be on the draw here. Hand's pretty close. We're just a Lotus Field away from really being able to do some crazy stuff. We might have to take a mulligan though, just because we got 2 pieces. Let's try it. Okay. Alright, not bad, not bad. Mostly just looking for a Lotus Field. So play Hall, Impulse, try to find a field. Thing in the ice. That is pretty scary though. That is definitely frightening. We can definitely talk about it more after this game. We have 2 mana open though. Man, do they have a counterspell or what, right? Gotta have a counterspell here. We could play this and play a land. Whatever, we're going with this. Consider. Whew, a close call there. Close call. Have that blue man, I got scared. Okay. They're definitely gonna swing in for a ton of damage, but we have a Settle the Wreckage that's gonna be looking pretty good if they tap out. We'll get the Teferi plus Settle maybe. We'll see what they have in their hand too, but we're looking okay so far. Okay. They have all untapped mana. That is definitely quite frightening. Oh my god. I agree, Spike. I agree so much. I'm so upset that it's not. I wanted Dig or Treasure Cruise or both. I would have definitely taken both. I'm very upset that either one is not in. I feel like those cards need to be in for this deck to be better. And for this deck to be better, so many other decks could get a lot better with those cards being in. Prismari Command is definitely a magic card. Sure. They get a treasure. They pitch some cards. So they're definitely going to try to go for it right now. We have a Settle though, so should be okay. Perspiring Spike, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Always a cheesy time. Sorry, I don't have my notifications on right now. Hey, Norvd, thank you so much. Wow, they just said go. Let's draw a farewell. We have all the answers in the world. We could play this. Let's draw. Try to draw something good here. Irrigated farmland. Yeah, I'll play a trawler. Wow, no response. Nothing. They have nothing. Absolutely nothing. This and this one. Alright. We have a dream. Opponent is scared to cast any cards here. Pieces of the puzzle. Sure. Fine. I guess we lose our trawler. That's okay. Make it a little bit more believable that we didn't know that that was going to happen, right? Makes this settle a lot better. Oh, here comes the Phoenix. Settle. Mecha Noodles, or Mecha Doodles, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Always a cheesy time here. Sorry I don't have my notifications on. Let me actually see if I can get those on for y'all real quick here while... Okay, so they're going to try to deal us 1. I think I'm okay with the 1 point of damage. I think that's alright. Yep, that's going to come back. Go to attacks. We have a Settle the Wreckage. Do they have a Spell Pierce? No Spell Pierce, they said. They will get their basic lands. One of them. Their last basic land out of the deck. Apparently they're playing all non-basics. That's pretty funny, honestly. Oh no, a magic card hit the battlefield. What will we do? Let's draw. Try to hit something good here. Wandering Emperor. There's definitely wandering here. Hold an upkeep stop. I think we'll Trawler. I want more mana. I don't have enough. I forgot that we don't have enough mana to cast Discontinuity. Because we don't have 2 Lotus Fields, but it's okay. They get to do something. Something gets to happen. Lightning Axe. The target creature. Interesting. Wandering Emperor? We'll get rid of that. We'll let them cast it. So that way they can either tap out or they're just not even going to cast. They're going to take another turn. Wow. Alright. Another turn gets taken. I like their deck because they're taking extra turns. And they're trying to do it with the Galvanic, but unfortunately not really going to work out for them this game. Oh my goodness, it's a 7/7. Do we block? Yeah, I think we can block. We'll make them do it again. Oh, alright. So let's uptick again. Dream Trawler. Very good. Jam. Then the ward costs a lot of mana on that. Just gonna Trawler here. Tap. Cast this. They don't have a counter spell. That's the end of their turn. They have a Spell Pierce. Wow. That's pretty good. That was pretty nice. They definitely had it that time. Yep. Yeah, Teferi can take it. Teferi's a tough planeswalker. It can take 7 damage. We'll uptick here. Uptick again. Doomscar. We'll activate this. Counter on. Counter here. Attack for 15. And they need to have another. Oh, I forgot to put a stop. My bad, chat. Let's say they need to have another spell pierce to stop us. But if they activate this, we could just end the turn. I feel like that's kind of even meaner than not having put the stop. Unseen with the follow. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Listening stage. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. It's pretty upsetting, honestly. What are we up against? Phoenix. Interesting. So, Revelry is fine. Amenities Wake for sure. Lantern for sure. I'll bring in the March too. And cut the Typhoon. Usually cut the Jwaris. On the draw, Jwaris just okay. I don't mind having infinite board wipes, I guess, just because we usually just want to kill every single one of their cards. Graveyard. This is a little bit better. I think we'll try that. Okay. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Alright, so pass. We get a Lotus Field, that's fine. And we'll pass. Sure. It's pretty good. I'm actually just gonna pass. We'll keep up the wake. We don't want to get blown up by them putting a bunch of cards in the graveyard and then getting them back. Sure, Drake. Gotta play this. We'll pass. We can probably just Wandering Emperor here, I think. Obviously, it really depends on like what they do here. Okay, gonna scry. They keep on top. Okay, consider, yeah. Okay, they have another opt. Kept on top. Phoenix. Calamity Wakes. Still have enough mana to pay for a Spell Pierce, which is nice. To get rid of their whole graveyard, they don't get that back. I'm actually just gonna try to main phase this so then we can play Lotus Field. I know it's a little bit awkward because they obviously could just have a counter spell here. Okay. Do they not have an answer here? Maybe a bounce spell for their own Drake? Wouldn't be bad. Okay, consider. So yeah, no bounce spell. That's gonna get exiled. We can play Lotus Field. Sacrificing these. The Arclight's gonna kill the Wandering Emperor. That's fine. Still have a Settle the Wreckage. We're just probably gonna Deluge though, honestly. Discontinuity's pretty good. Now we're just gonna Deluge, instant speed, hold these cards up in case we need to do it. We can also just like march the Arclight Phoenix if it really comes down to it. Which I think that's okay. Oh. Let's see, X equals 4. They have a counterspell, they have a counterspell, I guess. I mean, that's fine. We still have a ton of cards in our hand that are a lot better than this. Yep. Oh, no answers still. Alpine Moon. Naming Lotus Field, alright. So, unfortunately, we just used our March. And they get the Alpine Moon down, so I don't think that we have many other answers to that. We have 2 other Marches, so... Okay, Strict Proctor's pretty good. I think now we have to Deluge. Have to make sure we hit our land drops. Could grab a Teferi here. I think that's pretty good. Okay, they got 3 cards left. No Phoenixes. They're just passing. March is pretty good, so I think we just can march this now. And maybe that's enough. They got a counterspell. No counterspell. Alright, just gonna try Teferi here. Gonna try to slam all of our best cards. Yep, we'll uptick on Teferi. Could have a damage spell for it. Okay, just Brazen Borrower, sure. They cast it, alright. So we get a redraw. Impulse, we get to untap 2 lands. And we have a Settle the Wreckage or an Impulse here. I think we can take the 3. And we'll Impulse. Can't do anything. Quick Proctor. They might try to kill it. We have Teferi. Spell Pierce, I'm guessing. Lightning Axe, sure. Well, we have Settle the Wreckage, so we're gonna need a counterspell here. An actual hard counterspell, not just Spell Pierce, because we'll have access to 6 mana. So we get to untap both of these. Rowan. Sure, that's fine. They want to pump up their creatures. I don't really care too much about that. Looting isn't anything too threatening, I don't think. We're just gonna do that. Sure, that's fine. I wish we could Deluge. Deluging would be pretty nice. But I'll settle for a Wander. We hit a land. Let's redraw first. Strict Proctor. Uptick on it. In the turn. Pass this. Guess we should have just deluged because now we can't deluge. So a little bit of a mistake on my end there. Yeah, let's just do this now. Farewell. Just grab this. I don't have any way of getting rid of the Rowan. I want to take the Impulse. Impulse just draws us more cards. That's fine. Draw with Tef. I feel like we're just really good control here. It just doesn't really matter too much. We hit a Farewell anyways. Let's Impulse. Okay. That's fine. And we can play this. Untap both of our Lotus Fields. And discontinuity on their turn again. Oh, I thought we had the stop. Did we not have the stop? Could have sworn we had the stop though, right? That's fine. Alright, even better. And settle the wreckage? Sure. We also had the march for the thing in the ice if it got to that point. I mean, I felt like we were just in complete control. It was like kind of cruise control near the end there, but we'll see how our next match goes. Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book store's got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey.
This video is brought to you by MagicJank.com, the spiciest cards for your sauciest decks. Buy and sell Magic the Gathering products and gear today on MagicJank.com.
Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below. And on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you. On the draw with some Lotus Field here. I think this hand's pretty decent. We can keep it. We have a Lotus Field. A Strict Proctor would be great. Fortunately, it's probably going to be a Thoughtseize here. Okay, Witch's Oven. So we're up against Cat Oven. Alright. Well, March is going to be good against the Oven itself. Farewell gets rid of everything as well if it gets to that point. Our opponent's just going to pass. I think we just pass. I would like to do this, but I also don't want them to just like deadly dispute it in response. I'd rather them not get any value. They might just Mayhem Devil here, and then we can exile the Oven in response. So let's exile the Oven in response. Okay, Wandering Emperor. I think that we have to play Lotus Field here. We're gonna take 2 damage, sure. Fine. So Wandering Emperor next turn, so this game's gonna be tight just because their deck can deal us a lot of damage and it gets around a lot of our stuff. Yep, gonna take the 3 here. Alright, that was a pretty good draw though. We definitely play this. I think that we actually main phase this just because they will have to sacrifice the devil, and if they do, that's fine. I'd rather do this now than them getting a lot more advantage off of the devil. Sure, there's the Delhi dispute, yeah, that we knew about. That's fine though. Lose the Emperor, lose the Emperor. It's okay. Obviously, the biggest issue is that opponent just has a ton of cards, but once we get this Dream Trawler online, we should be okay. They paid the life for the land, which is interesting. And they're not attacking with the Hive. Okay. So, a bit interesting, honestly. Okay, so Kenzin, alright. Well, we have a settle if they want to get really aggressive with their Hive here, which they might. I would definitely be okay with that. Yep. Swing in. We'll settle. We're hoping for some land drops on our side, so that way we can just play the Dream Trawler. Okay, they get 2 lands. Obviously, that's fine. Yep. A fairy and a land. We also have another Lotus Field. So just play the Lotus Field. And then we can just play anything that we want. Even if we grab Castle Vantress, we can still do the same. I'll take the Lotus Field, though, just because we know that that's, like, our thing. Oh, we could have discontinued, Ed. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was mostly thinking about doing that on our opponent's turn. Definitely my bad. I got it here for you. Sorry about that. I was mostly thinking like, oh yeah, we can just keep stopping their turns. It's a bit rough, but we still have Dream Trawler. Like, I think that we're still pretty good in this game, honestly. Even after a little bit of a mistake like that. Decline. Obviously, if they have like a Shieldred's Edict, that's gonna be a bit rough, but we do have 2 trawlers, so we're at 13. Okay, they're gonna put us down to 10. That's interesting. All right. Trawler. Yeah, that's fine. We can discard a Deluge now, too. Yeah, definitely a bit of a mistake on my end, but still in this pretty good. Discard the Deluge and then take 2, go to 8. I have 3 cards left. Okay, one of them is a land. They could put Gigant on their hand and play it. It looks like that's what they're gonna do. Yep. We're gonna put a stop on their turn for next turn with this. We'll smash, kill one of the Obnixilis, take an extra turn essentially. Smash, kill the other Obnixilis to be at high enough life that their battlefield won't matter. and then play the second Dream Trawler, and then at that point, we should be looking really good. Just to make sure. So, yeah, we'll kill one of these Obnixilis. Okay, we hit a land, that's fine. We'll play this tapped. We'll pass the turn. And then we'll end their turn. They don't play counterspell, so that's good. You know, I'm actually not really sure. You do make a lot more mana, so you're able to go over the top of your opponents, and explore and stuff, I feel like that's a lot better. Yeah, now we smash the other Obnixilis. We draw an extra card. Okay, Memory Deluge is pretty good. Deal Obnixilis 5. We'll play a second Dream Trawler. And we'll pass it back. So we're at 18 now. We have some decent cards we can discard to the Trawlers. A Deluge and the extra Proctor here. Okay, and then we're drawing 3 cards a turn with both of these Trawlers, so it's not bad. We can go back down to 13. We're not in any imminent danger. 2 cards in hand for the opponent. We have an Obnixilis, it looks like. Debating what they want to sacrifice, potentially. Yep. We could honestly just take it, knowing that they don't really have too much left. We just go back down to 8, and then we have 2 Dream Trawlers that are pretty much going to end the game pretty quick. So, yep, we can take that. Yep, take that damage as well. Get to untap with the Dream Trawlers. And we can kill their Obnixilis if we want to. That's definitely an option. But also just kill them. Let's cycle, see what we draw. Another farmland. Alright, let's attack. I think we just attack them. It's a 2-turn clock. And we're just going to go back up to 20. Another Dream Trawler. Alright. And the opponent's actually just going to scoop it up. We're just way, way ahead in this game. Bring this in. We want the temporary lockdowns against their deck. I don't think I really like Revelry or the Wake. Maybe we keep all those. We just cut it to Fairy. It's gotta be like one of these cards, right? Like one of our big mana cards. Maybe even cut a Doomscar. They had a lot of creatures there. It really could be the Doomscar. Let's cut it to Fairy. We have plenty of ways to win still with the Dream Trawlers and our creature land. We still have some answers. We have ways of closing the game out quickly, so I think that's okay. All right. Gonna be on the draw again. Let's see how this game shapes up for us. Yeah, the anthology is disappointing. I guess the only bright side is that, right? That we get some more creativity cards, but that's like okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty upset with it. I know everybody's pretty upset with it. It's frustrating. You know, we want some real cards, you know. Lifelink with Dream Trawler. Let's go. Blood Tithe Harvester. So it's looking like turn 3 full control. Discontinuity on our Lotus Field when we do it. Right now we can impulse, get a card that we need. We can take the 3 damage, that's fine. We have double removal spell here. Sure, let's impulse. Try to find something else that's good. Yeah, I'll take another Lotus Field, why not? Okay. Alright, we get a Lotus Field. We're gonna take 6. A Settle the Wreckage would be pretty nice here. Oh, baby. Pretty good Thoughtseize. Pretty good. Well, we're gonna take 6 this turn. Definitely a bit unfortunate. Oh my goodness, is that another Dream Trawler? I believe it is another Dream Trawler. The old Thoughtseize glitch on the opponent here. Alright, Deadly Dispute on one of the blood tokens. Yeah, the ring is super strong, honestly. It's definitely a super strong card. Deadly Dispute, sure. Okay. They have another Thoughtseize, that's fine. I mean, we pretty much know about every card in our hand. They can't attack. Yep. We hit Doomscar, we'll draw here. Let's main phase this, honestly. Ooh. I actually like this. Let's attack, see what we draw first before we do anything. Another Doomscar, okay. So we hit all of our board wipes now. I was saying, where's the settle when you need it earlier? Do that. Exile this, then replay this. I guess it just like doesn't really matter anymore, honestly. Let's just foretell this. Whatever, it's fine. We can discard the other copy to save the Dream Trawler if we need to. Feel the Dead Leader and Explorer? No, it's banned. They use Thespian Stage though with Lotus Field usually, just to make a bajillion more mana. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the 6 here. We go down to 8. Okay, Fable, sure. They're at 9. We don't have any more redraws. Don't think. Yep, unless we can draw Cycle Land or something like that. Oh, Teferi's really good, though. Yeah, we definitely play that. Let's draw, pump up the trawler again. We hit a discontinuity, which is going to be great for their turn. Just play a Ganjo. Let's see. Exile the Fable. Let's just get rid of that. It gives us extra insurance knowing that our opponent won't get any more redraws when we pass the turn. We can attack with this Dream Trawler. Gain 6 more life, go up to 14. We'll pass it back. We'll untap both of these Lotus Fields. I know, right? Just unban it. And then we discontinuity. And our opponent's going to pack it up. All right. Able to take that match down. As you can see in these games, Lotus Field is a very powerful option against a lot of different decks. Able to take down the Cat Oven deck here. Traditionally, Cat Oven can be pretty decent against control sometimes. I feel like it's mostly maybe more like a 50-50 matchup depending on the players, but I think that this deck is like really, really powerful. It's done pretty decent in our tournaments in the past, and people bring like a couple copies usually. But I definitely recommend it. I think it's a deck that doesn't really get played enough, and I guess the main issue is that sometimes you'll have really, really long games, but other than that, I think it's a very solid deck. I definitely recommend it, especially for the ladder. Don't forget, you can check out all my content, all my links down below in the description. I stream on Twitch 4 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 6 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we host our tournaments that are 3 a month, free to play with cash prizes. So definitely check out all those links down below in the description. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I hope that you stay cheesy.